Today on the channel, canceled figures, Macho Madness.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for something a little bit different, a little figure discussion video today, as we're talking Macho Madness, as controversy is all over, and dare I say, a conspiracy?
I wonder if they're watching your every move. Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
Well, maybe not a conspiracy. Let's hold the phone. Let's keep the governor at bay for now. But I've had so many messages, and I've actually been stuck in some hardcore, pretty epic work meetings the last couple of days, and I am flying away to San Diego Comic-Con here in like 8 hours. So I am a pretty busy man these last couple of days, and during all this hectic hoopla here of getting ready to leave, Macho Madness came through, as there had been some inklings about a week ago as I'm filming this on Tuesday. About a week ago, I want to say, give or take a day or two, there was rumors that Macho Man had been delayed. It was not going to come out with the Randy Orton. It was going to come out later on, and we kind of felt that. Well, then Monday rolls around, and word starts coming that, unfortunately, our brand new Macho Man Ultimate Edition from WrestleMania 7. Oh, you guys remember WrestleMania 7 when the Ultimate Warrior retired the Macho Man? We all remember that one. The Macho King figure, the Macho Man figure from WrestleMania 7 has been canceled, apparently. Now, there's a lot of gray area with that, and of course, WWE, Mattel, they're not going to come out and say their business. They're not. And I'm going to say first thing right here, why was it canceled? I have no idea. I have no clue. And Mattel and WWE, guess what? They're probably not going to tell you all the reasons why, because it is business. They're going to keep that close to their vest like any good business would do. I do have some ideas as I think what maybe happened here. Once again, this is me just putting my business hat and talking through this. And the reason I'm doing this video is I've been bombarded with people sending me messages. Kyle, could you break this down? Kyle, could you talk about it? Not a ton to talk about. I can give you my guesses as to why, but like I said, at the end of the day, as I'm filming this, I have no idea, and Mattel has not said a reason why. So this is just all kind of, here's my guess of what possibly could have happened with this Macho Man figure. Here's what could have happened with the Macho Man licensing. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. Let's give my thoughts. Feel free to chime in the comment section if you want, but here's my guesses, and here's my way I think the story went. How about that? So, Macho Man, we've known this for a long time. There are certain individuals, certain performers that have a license that is shared across multiple properties, multiple companies. Macho Man Randy Savage is one of those. We've seen Macho Man Pro Wrestling tease figures. There's a figure collection from Macho Man coming out. Guess what? Today, Tuesday, Zombie Sailor announced his WrestleMania 7. So Zombie Sailor signed Macho Man. And there are other figure companies out there that have been working to sign the Macho Man as well that have not been announced. So that's kind of the way it goes. And we see Macho Man with clothing, Pro Wrestling tees. We see him with other clothing some places. Guess what? A lot of people are tracking down those Slim Jim containers of the Macho Man. There is a lot of different licensees for the Macho Man estate because he is a big-time estate out there. Another guy like him, Andre the Giant. That's why we see Zombie Sailor with an Andre. Cello was supposed to have an Andre the Giant. We see Super 7 with Andre the Giants. There are certain performers that are tied into the WWE, but other properties. Macho Man has always been that way. So a lot of people are saying, Zombie Sailor, how dare you? It's your fault. Well, Figure Collection announced theirs 8 months ago, whatever it's been. So it isn't anything else with another property pulling a Macho Man figure out of there. It's just he is licensed to different places, and that's the way it goes. Well, here's one issue that I think could play a part in all this. Now, the Macho Man, as we know, passed away many years ago. Who was watching that estate? Who was given the final yes and no's on a lot of that stuff? Well, apparently it was Lanny Poffo, and I'm sure there was a little bit more than Lanny, but of course Lanny Poffo, the genius, being the Macho Man's brother. Well, unfortunately, what happened not too long ago, Lanny Poffo unfortunately passed away, suddenly passed away. I mean, he's a young guy, just like his brother Macho was. So he passed away. So now who is holding the strings on the Macho Man estate and all that kind of stuff? And we've seen this before with many celebrities that have died in the past, especially when they suddenly die. The wills, the things are not all put into place like they need to be. I mean, heck, it could be your Grandpa Joe. He died and didn't have his will together, and it's just complex. Something tells me with Lanny dying suddenly, once again, this isn't like he had, you know, cancer and it was, you know, you knew it was coming, you were getting your finances in order, thing like that. This was a sudden death, and I wonder if all the pieces were aligned to where things go and who, with Lanny passing, who signs off on things. That could be as simple as that, like, hey, we're waiting on that signature. They're trying to figure out who does that signature. You know, what kid or what family member has it. Let's say it's a family member. It's a niece or something that's in charge of the Macho Man estate now, trying to get to her, and she has to talk to her nephew or whatever, who it may be, to get approval, and they ran out of time. And they said, hey, if we don't get this, this figure is delayed. And that could be as simple as that they missed that whole window there, and there's some issues. Zombie Sailor, we saw Zombie Sailor show off the figure. This thing has been in plan for a long time. The contract was done ahead of time. Figure collection, same thing. Now the Macho Man and the WWE Mattel Ultimates could be a different window, could be a different timetable, could be a totally different business scenario of how these get to market. But one thing we do know for sure, that figure is done, I would imagine, and is put together. We could see a Chief Strongbow situation once again, where some of these possibly leak out, get out there. I honestly hope not, and my gut does tell me down the line we will see this figure, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But at the end of the day, you talked about Macho Man's had micro brawlers, had figure collections, Zombie Sailor, Slim Jim, other things along there. And at the end of the day, you always follow the money. If there is money to be made, most people are looking to be a player out there. There's not a lot of properties over the years. One that I can only think of, and this is going to really not even date me. I mean, this is like my dad's generation, but the Dave Clark 5, a very popular band back in the day. A lot of people said they were neck and neck with the Beatles back in the day. Dave Clark, very difficult to work with, didn't want a license, so most of his stuff never even went to CD. It was on records back in the day, but no CDs, no tapes, no streaming, things like that. So there is precedent of being difficult to get IPs and properties, but most of the time, especially if it's a Macho Man's niece, just picking on her if there is even such a thing, they're willing to get some money. They want some money, and that's usually how it goes. So at the end of the day, you usually follow the money on these things. Now, here's something, and this is where the conspiracy hat comes in.
You ever wonder if they're watching your every move? Cell phones, internet, surveillance. Think about it.
Let's just play a little devil's advocate here. Maybe it is the estate. Whoever this estate is, Lanny Poffo had this agreement, whatever that old estate was with Lanny. You know Lanny was involved somehow. They had an agreement with Mattel. We're going to give you $1 million a year. We're going to make as much as we want, whatever it may be. What if whoever took over this estate, the contract was up, they had to renew? What if that estate said, you know what, $1 million's not enough, we need $2 million? And a lot of people are going to say, Mattel, what are you doing? Mattel, what are you doing? Leave Mattel out of this. It is WWE. WWE tells Mattel what to do. It's not the other way around. Now, Mattel can influence it. We'd really like to do this. We'd really like to do that. But at the end of the day, final approval comes from Mattel. So any blame really should go to WWE. I could say, okay, I don't like the hat. They did a bad mold on this hat. Well, you could probably blame Mattel on that. But as far as contracts and stuff like that, Mattel, once again, they'll make everybody they possibly can. They want to make everybody. They want to make your mom if they can make $1 out of that. That's what they want to do. But what if the estate said, no, $1 million's not good anymore. Lanny was a pushover. I want $2 million. Well, WWE crunched the numbers. They have finance people like all these big businesses do. Not worth it to us. Not worth it to us. So they said, hey, we're at an impasse. It's not going to work. Well, the contract's up. We're not going to release that. We're negotiating still. And it's going to be a constant negotiation. I don't think it's going to be one of those things negotiations are over with. I just don't see that happening because anytime there's money to be made, and let's go back once again, that niece, that nephew for the Macho Man estate, they want money. They're not going to say, okay, well, you didn't take $2 million. I'm done. I just don't need any money. No, they'll settle for that $1 million at the end of the day. They will. I'd rather have $1 million than no dollars. I think a lot of us would be that way. There's always somebody that says they won't, but at the end of the day, give me $1 million over $0, I'll take that all day long. So there could be that. But it could be the other side of the coin. We could flip that coin like a young Two-Face, and it could be Mattel. And once again, not Mattel, WWE. WWE may say, hey, we've milked Randy Savage here the last 5 years. Just humor me, whatever it's been. 5 years, 10 years, whatever it's been with Mattel and the Macho Man. Probably 10 years, really, at this point. we've milked it. We've got all the figures we want. We've got a ton of different stuff. Right now, we're in a rehashing. We've already made this one in the past. Now we're going to make it again. They might have said, hey, we've got all the juice out of that turnip already. We're not wanting Macho Man anymore. Or they want Macho Man, but hey, I'm not going to give you what I want. We've got enough out of this. They don't see in the future, and I don't believe this, but I'm just throwing it out there. They don't see in the future that the Macho Man has the equity and is going to bring the volume, the return on investment, the ROI at the end of it. They don't feel Macho Man is going to give them the ROI in the future that he does right now. You know, they just don't feel that's the case. So it could be the other side of the coin, WWE saying, yeah, this is our old agreement. I'm only going to give you $100,000 a year. That's all we see value in it. And maybe they're playing hardball because I'm guessing, once again, Lanny's not involved and they got a whole new crew on there. Hey, we're going to play hardball with these guys because, hey, it sucks Macho Man died. It sucks Lanny died. I mean, it is. Anytime any of our heroes and wrestling fans die or our wrestling personalities die, it's sad, but business rages on. I have to always remind myself, Kyle, why are you killing yourself? Why are you killing yourself? Because someday you're just going to be a number and you're going to get your punch ticket and they're going to put you to the curb. I don't care who it is. It happens to everybody, it seems like, eventually. And, you know, once they can't make money off of you, once they can't get as much money off of you, they look to the next one who goes there. And we see it with star performers all the time. We see it in the wrestling business, all the businesses. It's a tough game, the game of life. It is. It's a tough game. It's a Parker Brothers game, I believe, but it's a tough game that I've just never been able to accomplish or ever play the game, actually. But I got to think that's either one of those things. But at the end of the day, it's always cash. It's always cash at the end of the day. 9 times out of 10 it is. And that other one, it's probably creative, as they do say as well. But my guess is, wrapping this whole thing up in this video of just conspiracies, something like that, my guess is this figure will come out. They have it all ready to go. They have the tooling. It's all there. It's just waiting for the minute the WWE comes to an agreement here, and it'll be off to the races. We'll get this figure. So I think it's just a little patience. We got to wait. Maybe not this year. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But someday we'll get this Macho Man. And I think there's enough money at the table between both parties that they will come to an agreement of whatever it is out there. I just don't think it's the end of the world. And I don't think it's the Macho Man's family sticking behind some beliefs that I don't like the WWE. I don't believe in the WWE, because there honestly are very few people in this world that won't follow the money. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on the Macho Man Mania. Who knows? By the time this video comes out, there might be answers. There could be San Diego Comic-Con looming. I'm sure there's going to be people asking Mattel. My guess, Mattel, no comment. That's probably what they'll probably say. And it's a tough situation for them because they are, in a lot of ways, caught in the middle of all this. So we'll see what happens, but that is my 2 cents. Like I said, so many people hit me up asking. I figured I'll put this out there, and it is what it is. It's just my business hat, my thought process. I could be totally off. You never know, but hopefully we find out the answer one day. We'll see what happens. But what do you guys think out there? Put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this one, and I think we can all agree. We're all disappointed anytime a Macho Man. He's one of the pillars out there of the action figure game for wrestling, so we need more machos. I think we all want more machos. And there is other lines, like we said, making machos. So there's still going to be some Macho Mans, maybe just not the ones we want. We'll see from there. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, including business talk videos, apparently. Here we are today. We also got a Patreon channel for early access, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, dog stuff, pizza stuff, you name it. And best of all, you do support the channel over on the old Patreon. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Macho Madness, ooh yeah!